MPs have voted against this particular bill, and many would say that, reservation based on religion again is something that is very contentious, not allowed as per the constitution. So Asaduddin Owaisi perhaps has his own political position to defend, but today is a historic day. It's a historic day. I just want to see if we can also get our panel of guests on the screen with us, and we'll quickly take it across to them, because like I said, we've only seen and heard this. You get a deja vu moment. The last time when, remember, all this was happening in 2010 in the Rajya Sabha, when the then UPA government had got this passed in the upper house. It could not go beyond that. But with this time around, things possibly are very, very different, because mind it, as we build up to the big elections of not just the Lok Sabha of 2024, also the winter elections, women, remember, have become a huge vote bank. And women today realize their worth. There has been a natural progression, if I could use that word, vis-a-vis the BJP, as they have treated women, as they have done work for women, tried to empower them from the bottom. At the panchayat level, there is a good amount of reservation for ensuring that you have more participation of the women folk. But this time around, it's going to move to the Lok Sabha. It's going to be moving to ensure that women get a decisive voice. Now, clearly, you can, question the government when it comes to their timelines. How will this move on from here? And I'm told, before we take in a panel of guests quickly, let's make way to listen in to some very quick, sharp and pertinent reactions that we've heard so far on this huge, momentous and historic day.
हमें इस बिल के पास होने से खुशी है, मगर इसके साथ साथ एक चिंता भी है। मैं एक सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ। पिछले 13 वर्षों से भारतीय स्त्रियां अपनी राजनीतिक जिम्मेदारी का इंतजार कर रही हैं, और अब उन्हें कुछ वर्ष और इंतजार करने के लिए कहा जा रहा है। कितने वर्ष? 2 वर्ष, 4 वर्ष, 6 वर्ष, 8 वर्ष? क्या भारत की स्त्रियों के साथ बर्ताव उचित है? भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस की मांग है कि यह बिल फौरन अमल में लाया जाए, लेकिन इसके साथ ही कास्ट सेंसस कराकर शेड्यूल ट्राइब, ओबीसीज की महिलाओं के आरक्षण की व्यवस्था की भी जाए।
Upon the completion of each census, allocation of seats in the House of the People to the states and division of each state into territorial constituencies shall be readjusted by such authority and in such manner as Parliament may by law determine, provided also that until the relevant figures for the first census taken after the year 2026 have been published. तो क्या ये विपक्ष के नेताओं का मत है कि जो संवैधानिक प्रक्रिया इंगित है संविधान में, उसकी अवहेलना हो? Should we not abide by the Constitution? Is that the position taken by leaders of the opposition parties?
So you've heard those reactions from Sonia Gandhi, followed by that sharp rebuttal also that came in later from the Union Minister Smriti Irani. There is a lot that we have to tell you, and I think there is so much to talk at times that we just get overwhelmed with the fact that finally, unlike what we have seen in 2010 and in the later years, there is a government that is speaking for women. There is a government and there is a polity. Not just the government, I would say even the opposition this time has finally realized that women is a vote bank. It's important to give them a voice. And I hope and pray that this goes beyond tokenism. I am privileged to have Sonal Mansingh, who's the Member of Parliament from the Rajya Sabha. She's a renowned classical dancer. She's taken out time to be with us, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us on Republic. With your permission, I just want to take a moment to introduce the other guests with us, and then we'll have our conversation. Ma'am, Shaina NC of the BJP is just going to be joining us in a moment. Karan Verma and Sumitra Goenka, both are political analysts with us here in our studios. Brinda Adige is joining us. She's an activist from Bengaluru. And Brinda, what a happy time to talk on. Otherwise, we speak about a lot of occasions and crime against women. But finally, there is this good news story that we are talking on tonight. And it's good, to be doing that here. We also will have Mr. Pattabhiram Komareddy of the TDP with us in just a moment. Rebula Sridhar Reddy is the leader of the BRS. And do remember, K. Kavita again has been one of that politician who's vociferously led this fight. So yes, credit should also go to her tonight. Advocate Parambir Singh Ji is the spokesperson of the Shiromani Akali Dal. And Parambir Singh Ji, I must tell you, when we heard Harsimrat Kaur Badal today, it was fantastic. It's so good to have these speakers speaking in the parliament the way they do. And when these women speak up, you really do realize that, how a powerful conversation can completely change the narrative. And now I quickly want to take a moment to have a conversation with Sonal Mansingh ji, who's been very patiently waiting. Ma'am, first up, I'm short of words because, I never thought we'll see something like this. All political parties will make a promise, but then they are all promise breakers. They never deliver. But here is a government that has not just spoken about Nari Shakti, it's taken the very first step in that direction. How do you feel today? What are your emotions? What is your message?
Thank you very much for having me on this panel. Unfortunately, I have to leave very quickly, but thank you for your consideration. Today is a historic day. I mean, that is now a cliche. Yet one has to go on repeating it. The very translation, because now the women's reservation has gone. I used to say that this reservation sounds rather negative, rather condescension. And now it's Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. It completely changes the meaning, the context. It is offering the due respect to the women folk of this country, of this nation. It's a great moment, but it still has to go another way forward to Rajya Sabha. And I'm praying and hoping tomorrow I'm also, I think, going to speak in Rajya Sabha. And Rajya Sabha should also gracefully, graciously pass this bill, because it is for every woman of this country, especially those who are not from the elite classes. I'm a dancer, I'm an OBC. Actually, I come from an OBC community. People think this Mansingh surname is an adopted surname from my first marriage. That being said, the point is that the voice of those women who will bring their experiences, their life on platter to these houses. In policy making, they will have a big place. Their thinking, their concepts, everything will, I think it will give totally another dimension from hitherto whatever we have seen in 76 years. I must say that salute to our Prime Minister, who really does what he means. He means what he says and he does what he says. That's a big thing. Sankalpa se siddhi has been his sutra, adage, and he sticks to that. So I think it's a great day. Tomorrow I'm waiting for Rajya Sabha, and before the end of this session on Friday, another feather would have been. Of course, it would take a little time because there is a further movement to that. But the first step has been taken, auspicious, on the first day in the new building. And this is really the Amrita Samay, Amrita Kal. This is going forward for another few generations. People will remember this.
Okay, and Sonal ji, I know you have limited time, but I have to ask you one question that a lot of our viewers have been asking us. They say that, journey for a woman is never easy, because no matter what, I mean, there are struggles, there are challenges, there are achievements, there are our own little battles, I think, that all of us fight. And because you are also, a member of parliament today from the Rajya Sabha, would you want to share any anecdote? Would you want to have a larger message for a lot of women, our young viewers who are listening to you And why this moment was so important, why was this reservation so important? Because a lot of people say, listen, don't put us on a pedestal. We don't need a reservation, just respect us. But do you believe that this is going to help that larger cause of women and having equal respect, being treated as an equal, ma'am?
Yeah, equity and equality are two very big words. And very often they remain words. But I think with this kind of, entrance into policy-making bodies, it's a very big thing. Because the policies that are passed, that are debated, discussed, and which become law for the entire nation, just imagine what it can do for the women folk. And I don't think the women are so selfish that they will only think of women. When they come in, they will think of the entire nation, the society, what is good for all. This is the nature of woman. She is a nurturer. She is a giver. And I'm very, very sure that with their participation, it will have yet another beautiful golden color added to it. So as a Rajya Sabha member from the quota of artists, I'm a nominated member by the President of India. And I'm very happy to say that after Pandit Ravi Shankar, almost 30 years and more, performing artist, and that to a dancer for the first time, got this place. So it was a huge honor done to the entire community, biradari of dancers who were saying, Naach Gana, these kind of ideas were still there. They may be there, but with the entry into Rajya Sabha, I must tell you that on very first day, 18th July 2018, when I took oath, when I was walking towards the microphone to the well, there was such resounding applause from the entire house. And when I was coming back after oath taking and saying namaste to the chairman, even at that time, our Ghulam Nabi Azad ji was opposition leader. Everyone greeted me across board. And I must say that there is Rajya Sabha, I've encountered wonderful people, courteous, graceful, gracious, and some especially who become very close friends from different parties, are full of wisdom, full of common sense. So one learns also. As one gives, as one goes along, one learns a lot. I've learned a lot from Rajya Sabha, I must say that. I'm delighted to be there, a huge honor for all of us, dancers.
That is such a beautiful, conversation, ma'am, that you just shared with us. What a lovely experience, and I think this really tells you that life is such a great teacher. And no matter what the men might think on the panel, but I think women are far stronger than men. And like Amit Shah ji also today said, कि आप ये मत समझिए कि मतलब जो पुरुष हैं वो महिलाओं को सशक्तिकरण देंगे. महिला ज़्यादा ताकतवर है किसी भी पुरुष से any day and time. So time proves that. I appreciate, ma'am, Sonal Mansingh ji, that you've spoken to us. Thank you so much for your time. Namaste. We look forward to hearing you tomorrow in the Rajya Sabha also. You want to say something?
My last word, women are wiser also.
Yes. Yes, that's a W factor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you. Namaste, ma'am. Now, let's take it to our panel of guests who've been very patient, and thank you for your patience. We also have a latecomer, Nikhil, who's just joined us here in our studios. And you're quite a latecomer, no, Nikhil? Because you lean towards the Congress. The Congress has been so late. You always say कि अपना bill है.
The debate hasn't yet started, and I'm here.
27 years. Late by 27 years.
The men can't
For
steal
me,
the
a
thunder.
couple of
As expected. As expected.
Karan and Nikhil, you both can't steal the thunder. It's our day today. Let us speak.
Yeah.
I want to go into Sumitra, to Brinda, to Shaina. Yes, it's interesting. I believe my day is every day. That's how we live our lives. Our days are every day. You don't have to give us a day. But I have to ask Shaina that one important question, Shaina, that everyone today is asking. What you've done is fabulous. It is stupendous. It displays your political intent, and all marks to you for that. But what about the timeline, Shaina? I mean, why couldn't we deliver this right away? That is the biggest question people are asking.
At the outset, let me please compliment our Honorable Prime Minister, because not only has he shown guts of steel, he has actually walked the talk. You know, time and again, people have talked about women's empowerment, but really look at the various schemes he has initiated, whether it's Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and now that Beti will come to Sansad, or Sansad mein aake wo apna yogdan degi. You know, the kind of schemes, whether it's the PM Matru Vandana Yojana or the Poshan Abhiyan Yojana, these are all so driven for women. And I think that all in all, he has shown that this reservation is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to showcase your talent. How do women showcase their talent when it comes to legislation, when it comes to being in the center table, unless they're given that opportunity? And as Sonal Mansingh ji narrated her incident, I'd like to share an experience that I'd like to share on, which is one of Gomti Sai. She's one of our members of parliament from Chhattisgarh who came from a jungle, right to parliament, from panchayat to parliament, and we want many such Gomti Sais all across. Now, you question the timing. I want to say that, if you have an improvement in a scheme where the delimitation takes care of many lacunas in the system, then so be it. Let's wait it out. If we have waited since 1996, we've had people from the Samajwadi Party and the RJD come into the house and tear the women's reservation bill with the audacity to say that they, Baba Saheb Ambedkar came in their dreams and said that this is not required for India. There are people who have been such megalomaniacs, and it's refreshing to see a statesman as a prime minister who has really championed the cause of women. Today, if we look at indicators concerning women across the spectrum, you have 15% of pilots in India being women. That is 3 times the global percentage, which is 5%. Unfortunately, when we talk about representation in parliament, it's a dismal 15% in the Lok Sabha, 13% in the Rajya Sabha, 82 and 831 respectively, being an all-time high. But if we are viewed as a vote bank, that is 50% of the electorate, despite what caste, creed, community, that is important too. But that is a secondary. And for those parties who are constantly talking about reservation for the other backward classes in the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, I'll say nothing is stopping you and your party to give those discerning women tickets too. Please go ahead and start. But don't question with ifs and buts when the intent of the Honorable Prime Minister, the political will and the conviction has been shown. And trust me, September 19th will be remembered in the history of India, because this is the man, if he could do away with abrogation of 370, ensure that triple talaq is initiated so that women get equality, women's reservation is one more such bold decision.
Okay. Now, Shaina, you've sidestepped my question, but I'll try asking you that question again. But quickly, I want to get in Nikhil into this conversation before we take our first debate. Nikhil, you say this is a post-dated check. The opposition has been saying it's a post-dated checks bounce. But the fact is that there is a check. At least there is a check. There is a natural progression that you have seen this government moving towards. It's about a lot of schemes that Shaina just spoke about. You can question the government for all you want because you are the opposition. But the point is, today Sonia Gandhi is speaking about the OBC quota. But can you tell me, in the 2010 bill that was passed in the Rajya Sabha, why didn't that OBC quota find a mention?
Deepthi, first of all, the Congress party has already issued a check that cashed. That was the 1992 reservation for women in local bodies and panchayats. 1996, a first such bill was brought into the parliament by H.D. Devegowda government, which the Congress was supporting with 140 MPs.
We know all that.
2010,
we know all that,
Congress passed the bill in Rajya Sabha.
See, we know all that. The point is, history has been created. Correct. Yeah, I just want to know, correct. Sonia Gandhi speaks about the OBC quota. Rahul Gandhi speaks about the caste census also today. What was stopping the Congress from doing much the same when you were in power?
Deepthi, we have a parliament which is a running house. We are every single session we have new bills, we have constitutional amendments. This is the 128th amendment. You can't expect everything to be done from the get-go. 13 years have passed since the bill that the Congress party had introduced. The society has progressed. We are more aware of how our society, not the BJP, not the Congress, not the politicians, but the society has discriminated against certain sections. OBC is one of them, SCs are one of them, women are one of them. So if the Congress party is today asking for intersectionality within this women reservation quota to include also the quota for OBCs, I think the government should look at it like a constructive suggestion and not try and label it as opposition to the bill, because the Congress party, even before the government tabled this bill and there were merely rumors that such a bill may be brought, the Congress party passed a resolution and said we are in support of this.
Yeah, because you
Rahul Gandhi
preempted
also
this.
said that.
No, you preempted
Absolutely.
this. The point is, it was clear. It's all about politics. Brinda, Sumitra, the other two ladies in the panel who haven't spoken, what we'll do is we'll quickly head into a break. I also do see Patabhi Ram Komareddy of the TDP now with us. Good evening. I'm just quickly heading into a break. Do not go anywhere. On the other side, we carry forward this conversation. Important to have perspectives from the BRS, from the Akali Dal, from the TDP, and a lot of our women folk who've been really speaking about this. Why today is such a historic moment? Who should take the credit? On the other side, we are back quickly.
ಜನ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರವಾದಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಸುಳ್ಳೇ ವಿಜೃಂಭಿಸುವಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡರ ಜಗಳ, ಸಮಾಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುವಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ವೈರಲ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ, ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಅಲ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಮತ್ತ್ಯಾಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಸುದ್ದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನಾವು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸತ್ಯದ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪತ್ರಿಕೋದ್ಯಮದ ಸವಾರಿ, ಅಸಲಿ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
ವೈರಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಔಟ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಬೇಕಾ? ಬೇರೆಯವರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಬೇಕಾ? ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನೇರ ಮಾತು, ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
Unsurprisingly, the most important decision of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, now they are starting off by grandly declaring that they will boycott 14 anchors, yours truly included. They think it's a great move. They think this will put pressure on journalists to stop questioning things like the declared intent of many of their leaders to eliminate Hinduism, to eliminate and annihilate Sanatan Dharma and uproot Hindu traditions from the soil of our great nation. I am the one who exposed his intellectual inadequacies. They put me in jail with murderers and rapists and underworld dons, and they tried their best to make me compromise. And I want to say to them today, as they bring out this laughable, ridiculous boycott threat, bring it on. The people of this country are with us, with me. But today the rest of the media, as this emergency mindset emerges again, the rest of the media, especially the Lutyens media, they need to develop a spine, because we know how to hit back when it comes to our endless and indefatigable battle for the truth.
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಲಾಭಿ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳ ಪ್ರಭಾವಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಳಗಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಜಗ್ಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಗ್ಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಜರ್ನಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಜನರ ಪರ ಧ್ವನಿ ನಮ್ಮದು. ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಮೊದಲು ಅನುಭವಿ ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರೇ ಸೇರಿರುವ ದೇಶದ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್. ಈಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ ನೇರ ಮಾತು, ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಣ್ಣ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಪ್ರಸಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಂತ ಒಂದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಅವಹೇಳನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ನಾಡಿನ ಏಕತೆ, ಸಮಗ್ರತೆಯೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಸ್ಮಿತೆ. ಇದು ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
question, co-powered by UBI.
So the wheels have moved. The wheels are moving very, very swiftly. We finally have the women reservation bill that is being cleared by the Lok Sabha for the very first time. I quickly want to, without wasting time, go into both Sumitra and to Brinda. Before we go to all the gentlemen also on the panel, Sumitra, isn't that an important question? The government could have done it for the last 9+ years. That did not happen. These are important questions. When you have a political statement being made of an intent, is the opposition right when they question the timing of this bill?
See, the opposition has always been questioning timing of everything that the government does, whether it is any bill. They have always said this. Now, see, one thing is for sure that women form 50% of the vote share. Today is a very important day. I think it's a new beginning. You cannot do all the work in the first few years. There has to be the division of work within the government also. There has to be a consensus as well. And I think it is the right time for implementing such an important thing. I heard a few questions like why everybody was talking about OBC and SC and ST. I want to appeal to every political party to not make it about SC, ST, OBC. Today is a day for all the women, all the women, whichever caste, creed, religion, whatever they belong to. And it is a victory for all the women who can get into the political space, who can get into the policy space from where they were missing. I just want to quote some data here.
But not before 2029, no. The point is, is the BJP also selling dreams, Sumitra? That's
no.
See,
that is a constitutional provision. You cannot move ahead without that. Anytime you do this, it is going to take those many years to go ahead.
Then you could have waited. You could have said, let's have the census first, so we'll have the delimitation quickly, and then we'll bring the bill.
Somewhere or the other, you have to come.
There's a clear political intent. I mean, you must be honest and accept it. Brinda, like I said, one of the very better occasions when we are talking, and we are not speaking about the crime against women for now, but not that gets done, because there are still people who are member of parliament, but they are accused of some very serious crime. They are still sitting there in the parliament. There is a lot of conversation of how Nari Shakti is just becoming a slogan. You think this is the moment that will change everything? Because parties like the RJD, parties like the SP, Brinda, that had been such vociferous opponents of this entire bill, today have to give in because they realized women today comprise 48% of the entire vote bank.
You're absolutely right. Women comprise 48% of the vote bank, and women politicians have performed fairly better than male politicians given the constraints that they all work in. Now, vis-a-vis the intersectionality, it is very significant. It's an important component, and that must be considered. But nothing stops any of the political parties from making those same opportunities, reservations in their parties for women belonging to OBC, SC, ST, Muslims, if there is anybody else also that they want to put. So asking questions for which they don't expect any answers, I don't think they're trying to further the cause of women participation in the political arena. So if they are going to split hair and not wanting to move, making this to move forward, all women in India are going to ask the same question. When you were in power, why did you not push it? Why did you not have it passed? Why were you not looking at all of these questions that you're raising today? That said, my next concern is we need to be following the Constitution, but is it not possible today for my parliamentarians to look at alternatives to ensure that the bill that is going to be passed, and I'm hoping that the people in the RS will also pass it, find other means where women will be contesting elections in 2024 for the Lok Sabha. Because that is what we want to ask. Splitting hair, asking all of these questions, no. This women's reservation bill is a clear narrative to push the participation of women in the political arena and also shatter the institutional inequities that have been going on for so long. And it is not fair to women. It is not fair to almost 50% of the population when such questions are asked. for which there are no answers that they are expecting.
I think that's a very reasonable take that has been put forward by Brinda. I do have limited time, Shaina, but I'm going to keep that question in the back of our mind to let you respond to that. But I have to go to the all the gentlemen on the panel, otherwise they'll all already start complaining that you don't let us talk, because they love to complain. Now, Patabi Ram Komar Reddy and Mr. Rebula Sridhar Reddy and Parambir Singh ji, minority, you call them a minority, Shaina. I'm not to be blamed for that. But I let the men decide who wants to speak first. Mr. Komar Reddy, you welcome this step. That is clear. But how will you, now ensure that this does not become the game changer come 2024? You haven't taken sides. You haven't gone with the NDA or with the INDA alliance bloc. Do you think you might be moving towards the NDA? You would want to?
Deepthi, see, this is a historic moment. I wholeheartedly congratulate Prime Minister Modi for making this happen. So today I just want to enjoy the moment. I mean, the women and across the country are celebrating. So I don't want to take any political angle today. So I'm just enjoying the moment because our party, right from its inception, has been working hard for women empowerment. You'll be surprised to know, Deepthi, that it is our founding leader, Shri N.T. Rama Rao, who had passed a bill in the AP Legislative Assembly granting equal rights and property for women. And our party, even in the late 80s itself, have created reservation for women in the local bodies. Our party had established a women's university in Andhra Pradesh. And you will also remember that it is Shri Chandrababu Naidu who had started these women self-help groups, which had become the talk of the entire world. Even Bill Clinton visited Andhra Pradesh to watch these women self-help groups growing. So we have always been for women empowerment. And today I can say that we are the happiest and we thank Mr. Modi. And I also feel happy because day before yesterday, when the cabinet approved this bill, I was there with Arnav in Republic and we celebrated that day. Even my friend Ravula was also there in the panel that day. And I'm fortunate that I'm here again with you, Deepthi. So it's celebration time, and we thank the Prime Minister once again. And no politics today, Deepthi. I mean, who is on which side? The bill is passed with almost total unanimity. I mean, only those two who have voted against also might have done it by mistake. They might have pressed the wrong button. So it is like with almost total unanimity that the bill was passed, and we are really celebrating. We had celebrations in our party office a few moments ago.
Oh, they didn't press the wrong button. Patabi, they did not press the wrong button. This is Asuddin Owaisi and Imtiaz Jalil of the AIMIM. They pressed the right button. They have to vote against it. But I mean, I don't think they have to take any kind of conversation today. But Mr. Reddy, now K. Kavita has done a lot of work when it comes to women reservation. At least she's kept the tempo up, and she said that don't give me credit, it's fine, but I just want this bill to be, out there, and I want this law to be a reality. Now, tell me something. It is good, it's momentous that we are all talking today. Patabi says no politics, but ultimately, do you believe this is about politics? What do you think?
Before speaking the politics and a different angle to it, let me congratulate all the women of this country on such a wonderful occasion, where the Lok Sabha already has passed the bill today. And as Patabi was saying, we both were there on the panel on the day in Arnav's show when the Union Cabinet has passed approved the bill rather. So, I just wanted to place a few facts. BRS party has been a strong advocate for women reservation for a long time. Immediately after formation of the Telangana state, separate state, in 2014 itself, under the able leadership of Honorable CM KCR, our assembly has passed a unanimous resolution for the same and sent it to the central government for taking the necessary steps. And here in Telangana, our state government provides 33% jobs to the women in all government sector jobs, including the civil police. And in armed police, we give them 10% reservation here. And we are one of the very few states who are implementing the proper 50% reservation to women in all the local bodies, right from ward members to in a panchayat to the Jilla Parishad chairpersons. And if you go by the statistics, we have 57.54 women representatives, more than the given reservation in all the local bodies in Telangana state, whether you take it as municipal chairpersons and corporation mayors, JETP, out of 32 JETP chairpersons, we have 18, more than 17, rather there should be some 16 or so. There are 18 JETP chairpersons, we have women here. And there are many welfare schemes that have been implemented, Kalyan Lakshmi and Shadi Mubarak, to help the women, especially for their marriages and all that, in the backward classes, OBC, SC, ST, minority, and the economically weaker sections. So this is how the Telangana state government has been giving priority to the welfare of the women. And I already have told you about the resolution from the assembly. As you were saying, Kavita ji has taken a lead role to keep the momentum up. On 10th of March, she has done a hunger strike, one-day hunger strike in Delhi, and 12 political parties are involved in. After that, she wrote a letter to all the 47 political parties presidents who have representation in the parliament. And our Honorable Chief Minister wrote a letter on 15th September to the Prime Minister of this country to place this bill in the parliament. So only one thing here is, everything is good, fine, and we hope Rajya Sabha also will pass it tomorrow. But only one thing is that we are a little disappointed that this will not immediately be implemented. Now again, we have to have a 4 or 5 years or 6 years we have to wait for this to be implemented. That is the only point of disappointment. But if it can be implemented immediately, I don't know whether this census issue and all this have come up, but who are responsible for not doing it? We have to question ourselves. And end of the day, as
yes, but Amit Shah, I think in the Parliament has made it clear it's not happening right away. It will have to wait, Mr. Reddy. That's what he's clarified. Parambir Singh ji, thank you, sir, for your patience. You've been waiting for some time now. Yes, I want to get the Akali Dal also into this conversation. Now, it's important because we've heard from the TDP, we've heard from the BRS, the Akali Dal, and the way Harsimrat was speaking earlier, sir, in the Parliament, that gives you a larger sense of from where is she coming? Because everyone realizes, what's interesting is everyone realizes, Parambir Singh ji, can you hear me? Okay, we'll just fix our audio line. I don't think he can hear me. But Karan, the very fact today that all political parties, I mean, you listen to all representatives, they will tell you that they have done so much for women, of the n number of schemes that they have for women in their, states. And that is the truth. I mean, we are not even talking of a Mamata Banerjee who actually has given that kind of a reservation. Parties like the BJD in Odisha that have done some spectacular work for women. Karan.
Oh, absolutely. There are some parties which have done exceptional work. Like Mr. Reddy mentioned, BRS has done some tremendous work, but then again, it partners with an AIMIM, which he must today note is the only party that has voted against this bill. I think this should be a wake-up call for BRS not to have cordial ties with a party like AIMIM. I think that will be grossly appreciated by the women, by everyone in the country. So, yes, there has been tokenism. There have been some genuine concrete schemes. The Congress, for example, resorted to tokenism. This is the party, the Congress party, which gave us Shahbano. It overturned a Supreme Court judgment. That is their legacy. And they denied a poor woman alimony. So those who say that in Panchayati Raj, it was the Congress, it was Rajiv Gandhi who conceptualized reservation. It was Rajiv Gandhi who gave us the legacy of Shahbano, which should haunt them till today. And they had a brute majority. I think it's not just 27 years late, Deepti, it is 75 years late. It's high time the women had got reservation. Imagine how it changes a mindset. I come from UP. I can tell you when in a far-flung area, say a Balia, there is a woman representative, it changes the entire perception of the electorate towards that woman. It changes their mindset. That is the kind of revolutionary step it is.
I decided that we'll not get into this even light-hearted banter. I have to get in Parambir Singh ji. But see, then there will be issues of what happened in Manipur. There will be issues about what happened with the wrestlers. Every political party, you name it, and I can talk of the instances right from Rajasthan to West Bengal to the kind of utterances that a lot of ministers, lot of party karyakartas and the way they behave with women. So that
So that's
also
condemnable
needs
across
to
party
change.
sections. That
There
is
needs to be
condemnable.
action.
That's
There
what I'm
needs
saying.
to be action, not just a reservation.
would you condemn?
Yes.
I condemn everything.
Karan and Nikhil, Parambir Singh ji hasn't spoken.
Sorry?
I think he can hear us this time around. I have to go to him. Parambir Singh ji, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so who do you believe is going to get the credit for creating history of the women reservation bill? Who should be given the credit?
See, first of all, Shromani Akali Dal has always worked and has always tried to implement the purposes for which there can be upliftment of the women in Punjab. And Biba Harsimrat Kaur has always worked and had also initiated a campaign in Punjab, that is Nanni Cha, for the upliftment of the women and to grow the ratio of the female child. But today we are saying that the devil in the detail came across, because one of my co-panelists was saying that the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, I would say that the Beti has grown up enough, and she has also been educated, that why to kept waiting that Beti for next so many years. And one of the panelists was saying that the constitution, we have to abide that constitutional also provides the proviso for carrying out the census in 2021. And why this was not done by the government? If this implementation was to be brought, this bill was to be brought in the Lok Sabha. See what has happened today. We have kept out that Beti who has grown up enough and has become so much educated that she was there to take the decision in the Lok Sabha. And today, I would say that it has not only painted the sentiments of the women, but they again has felt like they are being betrayed by the government. So I would say that if the government was so curious and if the government really wanted the participation of the women of India in the parliament, then why the census was delayed? And if they were so, there was an intent on their part, the census would have been done in 2021 and the implementation would have taken in 2024 itself.
Okay, but the truth is, Parambir Singh ji, that I don't think any political party even wants it. A lot of people are saying this. I mean, you want to speak about it, but still not want to give women that kind of a reservation. I've completely run out of time, but it's been a fantastic conversation. I congratulate Sumitra, Shaina, Brinda also on our panel, and thank you to all gentlemen also for at least welcoming and taking that big step. To this evening, through the next few days, we'll keep our focus on this big story. Thank you all of you for joining us.
Trending burning question powered by Reva University, Century Ply, Club Prime, Hyundai Alcazar and Quota.
ಜನ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರವಾದಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಸುಳ್ಳೇ ವಿಜೃಂಭಿಸುವಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡಿರ ಜಗಳ, ಸಮಾಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುವಂಥ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ವೈರಲ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ, ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಅಲ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಮತ್ತ್ಯಾಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಸುದ್ದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನಾವು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸತ್ಯದ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪತ್ರಿಕೋದ್ಯಮದ ಸವಾರಿ, ಅಸಲಿ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
ವೈರಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಔಟ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಬೇಕಾ? ಬೇರೆಯವರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಬೇಕಾ? ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನೇರ ಮಾತು, ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
Unsurprisingly, the most important decision of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, now they are starting off by grandly declaring that they will boycott 14 anchors, yours truly included. They think it's a great move. They think this will put pressure on journalists to stop questioning things like the declared intent of many of their leaders to eliminate Hinduism, to eliminate and annihilate Sanatan Dharma and uproot Hindu traditions from the soil of our great nation. I am the one who exposed his intellectual inadequacies. They put me in jail with murderers and rapists and underworld dons, and they tried their best to make me compromise. And I want to say to them today, as they bring out this laughable, ridiculous boycott threat, bring it on. The people of this country are with us, with me. But today the rest of the media, as this emergency mindset emerges again, the rest of the media, especially the Lutyens media, they need to develop a spine, because we know how to hit back when it comes to our endless and indefatigable battle for the truth.
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಲಾಭಿ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳ ಪ್ರಭಾವಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಳಗಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಜಗ್ಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಗ್ಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಜರ್ನಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಜನರ ಪರ ಧ್ವನಿ ನಮ್ಮದು. ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಮೊದಲು ಅನುಭವಿ ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರೇ ಸೇರಿರುವ ದೇಶದ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್. ಈಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ ನೇರ ಮಾತು, ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಣ್ಣ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಪ್ರಸಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಂತ ಒಂದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಅವಹೇಳನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ನಾಡಿನ ಏಕತೆ, ಸಮಗ್ರತೆಯೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಸ್ಮಿತೆ. ಇದು ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ.
Unsurprisingly, the most important decision of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, now they are starting off by grandly declaring that they will boycott 14 anchors, yours truly included. They think it's a great move. They think this will put pressure on journalists to stop questioning things like the declared intent of many of their leaders to eliminate Hinduism, to eliminate and annihilate Sanatan Dharma and uproot Hindu traditions from the soil of our great nation. I am the one who exposed his intellectual inadequacies. They put me in jail with murderers and rapists and underworld dons, and they tried their best to make me compromise. And I want to say to them today, as they bring out this laughable, ridiculous boycott threat, bring it on. The people of this country are with us, with me. But today the rest of the media, as this emergency mindset emerges again, the rest of the media, especially the Lutyens media, they need to develop a spine, because we know how to hit back when it comes to our endless and indefatigable battle for the truth. Unsurprisingly, the most important decision of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, now they are starting off by grandly declaring that they will boycott 14 anchors, yours truly included. They think it's a great move. They think this will put pressure on journalists to stop questioning things.
Fierce debate over women's reservation bill. Opposition wants quota within quota now. Mega political face-off over women's quota. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.